Dear students, in the last class we discussed chain rule to find the derivative of composite function. Okay, I think we discussed 3 examples, right? Now we shall discuss some problems. Okay, we shall work out some problems. I had given 8 problems in the last class. Now we shall solve these problems one by one. Okay. So the first one, the given function is cos root x. We have to differentiate this function with respect to x. Okay. So first one, the given function is cos root x. I will take the given function as y. I will take the given function as y. Clearly, this is a function of function. Here, the function is the composition of root x and cos function, right? So this is a composite function. To find its derivative, to find dy by dx, we have to use chain rule. Okay. So first assume that this is u. Okay, root x as u. So this becomes cos u. What is the derivative of cos u with respect to u? I am using chain rule here indirectly. Okay, or you just assume root x as x. What is the derivative of cos x? Minus sin x, right? So minus sin, in place of x we have function root x into d by dx of this function, d by dx of root x. So we get this is equal to minus sin root x into d by dx of root x is 1 by 2 root x. That's it. Okay. Understood? Here I have used chain rule to find the derivative of the given function. What is the chain rule? So dy by dx is dy by du into du by dx. Okay, I have not taken root x as u. You just assume that root x as u. Okay, say dy by du means you just assume this as cos u. Derivative of cos u with respect to u is minus sin u into d by dx of u. Here u is root x. D by dx of root x is 1 by 2 root x. Understood? Don't take root x as u. Directly you can write the derivative of y with respect to x. Okay. So next we shall move on to the second problem. Second one, what is that? Second one is sine of 3x. Second one, y is equal to sine of 3x. See, this is not ordinary function. This is function of function. This is composite function. So to find dy by dx, we have to use chain rule. You just assume this 3x as u. What is the derivative of sine u with respect to u? Derivative of sine u is cos u, right? So cos, in place of u we have 3x into d by dx of u. What is our u? Our u is 3x. So d by dx of 3x. So finally we get cos 3x into d by dx of 3x is 3. Correct? Understood? And next, problem number 3. The third one is third function is cos of 5x. Let us take it as y is equal to cos of 5x. So dy by dx becomes derivative of cos x is minus sin x, right? So minus sin, but in place of x we have a function, so we have to differentiate that function also. Dy by dx of 5x, we get minus sin of 5x into d by dx of 5x is 5. Okay. Next, fourth one, see the fourth one, x square plus 1 whole cube. I'll take it as y, let y be equal to x square plus 1 whole cube. Okay, so now dy by dx is equal to, now this is of the form u cube. Okay, derivative of u cube with respect to u is 3 into u square, right? Derivative of u cube is 3 into u square, right? In place of u we have x square plus 1 into d by dx of this function, d by dx of x square plus 1. So we get this is equal to 3 into x square plus 1 whole square into d by dx of x square is 2x plus d by dx of constant 1 is 0. So 2x plus 0 is 2x. So further you can simplify this as 3 into 2, 6x into x square plus 1 whole square, right? Is there any other method to find the derivative of this function? Yes, of course. The other method is you can simplify the function using the formula a plus b whole cube. A plus b whole cube is a cube plus b cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square. Expand this, simplify, and after that you can find dy by dx. Okay, but here I have used chain rule. Next, problem number 5. Problem number 5. The given function is 2x plus 5 whole square. Fifth one, y be equal to 2x plus 5 whole square. Then dy by dx is equal to, this is of the form u square. Derivative of u square with respect to u is 2 into u, right? 2 into u. But what is u? U is 2x plus 5 into d by dx of this function 2x plus 5. So we get this is equal to 2 into 2x plus 5 into d by dx of 2x is 2, right? Plus d by dx of constant 5 is 0. So 2 into 2, 4 into 2x plus 5. So this is the derivative of the given function with respect to x, right? Next, problem number 6. Problem number 6 is the given function is cos of x cube. We shall take it as y. Let y be equal to cos of x cube. So the given function is composition of function x cube and cos x. So we have to use chain rule to find its derivative. Okay. So then dy by dx is equal to, this is of the form cos u. You assume this as a single variable. Derivative of cos u with respect to u is minus sin u, right? But what is u? X cube into d by dx of this function, d by dx of x cube. So which is equal to minus sin of x cube into d by dx of x cube is 3 into x square, right? So the derivative of the given function is minus sin of x cube into 3x square. Okay. Next, seventh one, sin square x. Okay. Seventh one, sin square x. Sin square x is actually sin x whole square. Seventh one, the given function is sin square x. Sin square x is nothing but sin x whole square. Okay. Sin x whole square. Now dy by dx becomes, now dy by dx is equal to, now the given function is of the form u square. What is the derivative of u square with respect to u? 2 into u, right? 2 into u. In place of u we have sin x into d by dx of d by dx of this function sin x. Okay, so that is equal to 2 into sin x into d by dx of sin x. Derivative of sin x is cos x, right? So derivative of the given function sin square x is 2 sin x into cos x, or using double angle formula you can also write 2 sin x cos x as sin 2x. Okay, both are one and the same. 2 sin x cos x is same as sin 2x, right? Next, problem number 8. Problem number 8. Just a minute. Problem number 8. Okay. The given function is cot of 4x. Problem number 8. Let us take the given function as y. Cot of 4x. Cot of 4x. So then dy by dx is equal to, what is the derivative of cot u, or you can say what is the derivative of cot x with respect to x? Derivative of cot x is minus cosecant square x, right? So just assume this as x or assume this as u. Derivative of cot u with respect to u is minus cosecant square of u, but in place of u we have 4x into d by dx of 4x. d by dx of this function, d by dx of 4x is, I'll write it directly here, d by dx of 4x is 4. So derivative of the given function is minus cosecant square of 4x into 4, right? Now we shall discuss some more problems. I'll take the ninth one as sin of x square plus 5. Sin of x square plus 5. Sin of x square plus 5. So let us take the given function as y. Let y be equal to sin of x square plus 5. Okay. Then what is dy by dx? dy by dx is equal to, assume this bracket a single variable u. Derivative of sin u with respect to u is cos u, right? So cos, in place of u we have x square plus 5 into d by dx of this function. I'll write it directly, d by dx of this function, d by dx of x square plus 5. What is that? 2x plus 0. So 2x plus 0 is 2x. I have written dy by dx directly here. Okay. If you are comfortable, you can write the answer in one step. Understood? So next, 10th one. The given function is cos of sin x. 10th one, given function is cos of sin x. So take it as y, let y be equal to cos of sin x. Then dy by dx becomes, what is the derivative of cos x? Minus sin x, right? Minus sin, in place of x we have a function into d by dx of sin x. d by dx sin x is cos x, correct? I have written this directly here. Okay, so given function is cos of sin x. So derivative of cos x is minus sin x, but in place of x we have function sin x. You have to differentiate that function also. So final answer is, so dy by dx is negative sin of sin x into cos x, correct? Next, before we move on to the next problem, we shall write the extension of chain rule. 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 See, if y is a function of u, y is a function of u, u is a function of another variable v, and v is a function of x. then y is equal to, say, then y is equal to f of, what is u? U is g of v, right? G of, but what is v? Composition of three functions. Okay, then to find dy by dx, we use the following formula. Dy by dx, then use the following formula. Then use the following formula or rule. Then dy by dx is equal to, see here, y is a function of u. So first you have to differentiate y with respect to u, right? But u is a function of v, so you have to differentiate u with respect to v. Okay, but v is a function of x, so you have to differentiate v with respect to x. So this rule or formula is known as extension of chain rule. Okay, so this is known as extension of chain rule. Okay, this rule is called extension of chain rule. Understood? Now we shall move on to the next problem, problem number 11. So the question is differentiate the given function with respect to x. Okay, the function is sine square of x power 5. Sine square of x power 5. See, this function is actually composition of three functions. One is polynomial function x power 5. Second one is sin x. Third one is x square function, square of x. Okay, so this is a composition of three functions. So to find its derivative, we have to use extension of chain rule. Okay, so I will write it directly. First, let us take the given function as y. Let y be equal to sine square of x power 5 can be written as sine of x power 5 whole square. Correct? Sine of x power 5 whole square. And now dy by dx is equal to, see, assume this as x square. Isn't this something like u square? What is the derivative of u square or x square? What is the derivative of x square with respect to x? 2x. Or if you assume this as u, what is the derivative of u square with respect to u? Derivative of u square with respect to u is 2 times u, right? 2 times u into d by dx of this function, the function within the square brackets, d by dx of sine of x power 5. Correct? Say, still this is not an ordinary function. This is composition of two functions. Okay, so this is equal to 2 into sine of x power 5 into, assume this as x or u. Derivative of sine x is cos x, right? So cos of, but in place of x we have a function x power 5 into d by dx of this function, d by dx of x power 5, d by dx of x power 5. So finally we get 2 into sine of x power 5 into cos of x power 5 into d by dx of x power 5 is 5 into x power 4. So here we have used extension of chain rule because the given function is composition of three functions. Understood? Further, if you want, you can simplify it. I am not going to do it. Understood? And one more thing is, if you are comfortable, directly you can write dy by dx. You can straight away jump to this step. Okay, no need to write these two steps. We shall move on to, but don't take u, v and all here. Straight away find dy by dx like this. Next 12th one, problem number 12. Problem number 12. The given function is 2 into root of cot of x square. The given function is 2 times root of cot of x square. See, this function is composition of 3 functions. One is x square function, another one is cot function, third one is square root function, right? So we had to use extension of chain rule to find its derivative. Okay, so we shall take this function as y first. Let y be equal to 2 times square root of cot of x square. Okay, so then dy by dx is equal to 2 into d by dx of, assume this as, you just assume this as x. Okay, the whole thing this as x. What is the derivative of root x? What is the derivative of root x? 1 by 2 root x, right? So see, we know that d by dx of root x is 1 by 2 root x, correct? I'm going to use it now, but in place of x we have a function cot of x square, right? So derivative of root x is 1 by 2 root x. So into 1 by 2 root, in place of x we have to write cot of x square into d by dx of this function. Which function? Cot of x square. See, cot of x square is not an ordinary function. It is composition of 2 functions. Okay, so here if you want you can cancel 2 and 2. So this is equal to 1 by root of cot of x square into what is the derivative of cot x? Derivative of cot x is minus cosecant square x, right? So here you have to write negative sign. I will write negative sign here, negative cosecant square of, but in place of x we have a function, right? X square into d by dx of this function into d by dx of x square. Okay, so finally we get minus cosecant square of x square divided by root of cot of x square into d by dx of x square is 2x. So that's the derivative of given function. Okay, next we shall move on to the 13th one. So 13th one is the given function is 1 minute. Secant of tan of root x. Secant of tan of root x. Say the given function is composition of 3 functions. One is root x function, another one is tan function, and third one is secant function. Okay, so to find its derivative with respect to x, we had to use extension of chain rule. Okay, let y be equal to secant of tan of root x. Then dy by dx is equal to what is the, you just assume this as single variable x or u. What is the derivative of secant x? Derivative of secant x is secant x into tan x, right? Derivative of secant x is secant x into tan x, right? But in place of x we have function. What is that? Tan root x, correct? into d by dx of this function, d by dx of tan root x, correct? D by dx of tan root x. So this is equal to secant of tan root x into tan of tan root x into tan root x is composition of two functions, right? What is the derivative of tan x? Secant square x. So secant square, but in place of x we have a function root x, correct? Into d by dx of this function, d by dx of root x. Shall I write it directly? D by dx of root x is 1 by 2 root x. D by dx of root x is 1 by 2 root x. So this is the derivative of given function. Okay. So I'll give, okay, I'll do one more. I'll do one more problem. So 14th one. 14th. One. 14th. So the given function is the given function is cos of x cube. Given function is cos of x cube into sine square of x power 5. See, the given function is product of two functions, right? One is cos of x cube, another one is sine square of x power 5, right? So you have to use product rule, and moreover the first function is composition of two functions, x cube and cos function, right? And the second one is composition of three functions. One is x power 5, another one is sin x, and the third one is x square function, right? So we have to use product rule as well as chain rule, correct? So this is a little bit lengthy problem. First we shall take the function as y. Let y be equal to cos of x cube into, and I will write sine square of x power 5 as sine of x power 5 whole power 2. Okay, sine square of x power 5 is same as sine of x power 5 whole square, right? So now we shall use product rule. Using product rule, we have dy by dx is equal to first function cos of x cube into d by dx of second. Okay, I'll write it, d by dx of second function. What is that? Sine of x power 5 whole power 2 plus second function is sine of x power 5 whole square into d by dx of first function. Okay, first function, correct? I'm using product rule here to find dy by dx. So which is equal to see here, cos of x cube. Now we have to use extension of chain rule to find the derivative of sine of x power 5 whole square. I will write it directly here. You just assume this as x. What is the derivative of x square? 2x, right? So 2 into, but in place of x we have this function, so 2 into sine of x power 5 into next d by dx of sine of x power 5. What is the derivative of sine x? Cos x, right? So cos of, but in place of x we have function x power 5 into d by dx of this function, d by dx of x power 5 is 5 into x power 4, correct? I have written this directly. I have used extension of chain rule. Okay, plus next function sine of x power 5 whole square into d by dx of this composite function. Again I have to use chain rule here. Derivative of cos x is minus sin x, right? So minus sine, in place of x we have x cube into d by dx of x cube. D by dx x cube is 3x square, correct? So this is the derivative of given function with respect to x. Okay, so I'll give you some homework problems. You try to solve all these problems. Next, homework problems. Copy down all the homework problems. 15th one. 15. The given function is sine of ax plus b. Here a, b are constants. Okay. Sine of ax plus b. 16th one, sine of ax plus b divided by cos of cx plus d. Okay. Sine of ax plus b divided by cos of cx plus d. Here you have to use quotient rule as well as chain rule. Okay. And moreover, a, b, c, d are constants or real numbers. Next, 17th one, tan of x power 5. Okay, tan of x power 5. 18th one, secant of root x. 19th, cosecant of 5x plus 3. 20th, cot of x power 5. Next, okay, next 21st, root of sin x. 22nd, root of cos of x square. 23rd, sine cube of root x. 24th, tan of root of 3x plus 7. 25th, tan of 2x plus 3. Okay, so you have to differentiate all these composite functions with respect to x. Okay, use chain rule to find derivatives of all these functions with respect to x. Next, I would like to discuss two more problems. Next one, 29th question, 26th question. Prove that the function f given by f of x is equal to modulus of x minus 1, where x belongs to set of real numbers R, is not differentiable at the point x is equal to 1. Prove that the given modulus function is not differentiable at the point x equal to 1. Okay, so here we have to find left hand derivative as well as right hand derivative. If they are not equal at the point x is 1, then we conclude that the given function is not differentiable at the point x equal to 1. Okay, so I'll rewrite the given function. See, I can write f of x as whenever x minus 1 is less than 0. If x minus 1 is negative, this becomes negative of x minus 1, right? If x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, in that case f of x is x minus 1, correct? Or you can also rewrite this as r f of x is equal to say minus of x minus 1 is nothing but 1 minus x. Whenever x is, I will shift minus 1 to that side. Whenever x is strictly less than 1, x minus 1 if x is greater than or equal to 1, correct? Now we shall find left hand derivative as well as right hand derivative of the function at the point x is 1. Okay, now first left hand derivative. I'll just write that as f dash of 1 minus which is equal to limit of f of x minus f of 1 divided by x minus 1 as x tends to 1 from the left side. So 1 minus. So which is equal to limit when x tends to 1 from the left side, obviously x takes values which are slightly less than 1. Whenever x is slightly less than 1, what is f of x? F of x is 1 minus x, correct? F of x is 1 minus x minus f of 1. When x is 1, f of x is this. So f of 1 is 1 minus 1, 0, correct? When x is equal to 1, f of x is x minus 1. So put x is 1 here. F of 1 is 1 minus 1, that is 0, divided by x minus 1 as x tends to 1. Okay, so 1 minus x is nothing but minus of x minus 1. So after simplification, we get limit of negative 1. I will write it directly. Limit of negative 1 as x tends to 1 is the constant negative 1 itself. Okay, just interchange these two, we'll get negative sign, cancel out x minus 1 and x minus 1. We'll get limit of negative 1 as x tends to 1. Limit of a constant is constant itself. I have written that directly. Next, so we got left hand derivative as negative 1. Next, right hand derivative of the function at the point x is 1. I will just write it as f dash of 1 plus. Again, we shall use the definition, limit of f of x minus f of 1 divided by x minus 1 as x tends to 1 plus. Okay, so which is equal to limit. Now, when x tends to 1 from the right side, obviously x takes values which are more than 1. Whenever x is more than 1, what is f of x? X minus 1, correct? Minus f of 1. We know that value of f of 1 is 0 divided by x minus 1. So we can cancel out x minus 1, limit of 1 as x tends to 1 is 1. So we got left hand derivative of the function at x is 1 is negative 1. Right hand derivative of the function at the point x is 1 is positive 1. They are not equal. Left hand derivative is not equal to right hand derivative of the function at the point x equal to 1. Therefore, conclusion, therefore the function f is not, differentiable at the point x is equal to 1. Okay, so the function f is not differentiable at the point x is equal to 1. Okay, one more thing, how do you solve this problem when it comes in competitive examination like CET? See, first draw the graph of the function. Okay, see the graph of the function. When x is 1, value of y is 0, right? When x is 1, when x is 2, it is 1, when x is 0, it is 1. So this is the graph of the function. Y is equal to modulus of x minus 1. This part is actually y is equal to x minus 1. This part is y is equal to 1 minus x. See, what is the slope of this line? You just see here, m is 1, right? Y is equal to x minus 1. M is 1. Slope of this line is 1. So we got right hand derivative 1. What is the slope of this line? Here m is minus 1, right? So left hand derivative is negative 1. Can you see a sharp edge here at the point x is 1? Since there is a sharp edge at the point x is equal to 1, we cannot draw a unit tangent. Okay, since we cannot draw a unit tangent, derivative doesn't exist, because we know that derivative of function at a particular point geometrically represents slope of the tangent. You cannot draw a tangent since this point has a sharp edge. This curve has a sharp edge at this point x equal to 1. You can draw infinitely many lines through this point, but you cannot say there exists only one tangent at this point. So you just observe if there is any sharp edge at the point on the curve, then then the function is not differentiable at that point. So this is a graphical method to check whether given function is differentiable or not at the given point. Okay, so this given function is not differentiable at the point x is equal to 1. Okay, next one, last problem, 27th. Prove that the greatest integer function defined by f of x equal to x within square brackets for x lies between 0 and 3 is not differentiable at x is equal to 1 and at x is equal to 2. Okay, I'll do only the first part. I'm going to show that the greatest integer function is not differentiable at x equal to 1. Okay, so first we shall rewrite the function f of x. Here x lies between 0 and 3, right? This is actually a restricted domain. They have restricted the domain of greatest integer function. So I will write the function f of x is whenever x lies between 0 and more than 0 and less than 1. In that case, what is f of x? 0, right? Whenever x lies between 1 and 2 and including 1, in that case f of x is 1. Whenever x lies between 2 and 3 and including 2, in that case value of the function is 2. Okay, so now at the point x equal to 1. Okay, so now first I'll find right hand derivative of the function at the point 1. Okay, of course you can find left hand derivative also first. Right hand derivative of the function at the point x equal to 1. So what is that? Limit of the function f of x minus f of 1 divided by x minus 1 as x tends to 1. Now what is the function f of x when x tends to 1 from the right side? When x tends to 1 from the right side, obviously x takes values which are more than 1. In that case f of x is 1, right? What is f of 1? F of 1 is also 1 divided by x minus 1 as x tends to 1. So limit of 1 by 1 is 0, right? 0 by x minus 1 as x tends to 1. So this is nothing but 0. Right hand derivative is 0. Next we shall find the left hand derivative of the function at x is 1. So limit of the function f of x minus f of 1 by x minus 1 as x tends to 1 minus when x tends to 1 from the left side, obviously x takes values which are less than 1. In that case f of x is 0 and f of 1 is 1 divided by x minus 1 as x tends to 1. See, if you apply the limit, what happens? Minus 1 is 0, which is not defined, right? Which is not defined. You will get 1 by 0. 1 by 0 is not defined. So that means left hand derivative of the function at x equal to 1 doesn't exist, right? So left hand derivative doesn't exist. So obviously the function is not continuous. Since left hand derivative doesn't exist, there is no question of checking whether left hand derivative is equal to right hand derivative, correct? So conclusion is the given function or the greatest integer function f is not differentiable at x is equal to 1. Understood? So we have shown that the greatest integer function is not differentiable at the point x equal to 1. Similarly, you can show that the function is not differentiable at the point x is equal to 2. Okay, so the last two problems are not important from the point of your examination, but there will be a definite problem on chain rule. So you have to be thorough in all those problems. Okay, so that's all for today. We shall continue in the next class. Thank you.